प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः नीतिश्चाभिभृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Verse 41. यत्किञ्चिन्नामरूपात्मकमिदमसदे ओदितं भाति भूमौ येनानेकप्रकारैः व्यवहरति जगद् येन तेनेश्वरेण तद्वत्प्रच्छादनीयं निभृतरशनया यद्वदेतद्विजिह्वः
येन त्यक्तेन भोज्यं सुखमनतिशयम्
आगृधोऽन्यद्धनाद्यम् जीवन्मुक्तिर्मुमुक्षोः प्रथममत ततः मुक्तिरात्यन्तिकी च तेभ्यो सा ज्ञानयोगात् गुरुचरणकृपापाङ्गसङ्गेन लब्धात् अभ्यासोऽपि द्विधा स्यात् अधिकरणवशात् दैहिको मानसश्च शारीरस्त्वासनाद्यः ह्युपरतिरपरो ज्ञानयोगः परोक्तः सर्वानुन्मूल्य कामान् प्रतिकृतनिलयान् क्षिप्तशङ्कूनिवोच्चैः वीर्यद्देहाभिमानः त्यजति चपलतामात्मदत्तावधानः यात्यूर्ध्वं स्थानमुच्चैः कृतसुकृतभरो नाडिकाभिर्विचित्रम् नीलश्वेतारुणाभिः स्रवदमृतभरं गृह्यमाणात्मसौख्यः प्रापश्यद्विश्वमात्मेत्ययमिह पुरुषः शोकमोहाद्यतीतः शुक्रं ब्रह्माध्यगच्छत् स खलु सकलवित् सर्वसिद्ध्यास्पदं हि विस्मृत्य स्थूलसूक्ष्मप्रभृतिवपुरसौ सर्वसङ्कल्पशून्यः जीवन्मुक्तस्तुरीयं पदमधिगतवान् पुण्यपापैर्विहीनः यः सत्त्वाकारवृत्तौ प्रतिफलति वा देहमात्रावृतोऽपि तद्धर्मैर्बाल्यवार्ध्यादिभिरनुपहतः प्राणाविर्बभूव श्रेयान् साध्यस्तमेतम् सुनिपुणमतयः सत्यसङ्कल्पभाजोऽप्यभ्यासाद्देवयन्तः परिणतमनसा साकमूर्ध्वं नयन्ति। So the last verse that we just rendered now, I mentioned to you, is inspired by a mantra which occurs both in Rigveda and Yajurveda. very minor variations in the letters that we find among the two mantras. I will render the Yajurveda version of it. Yuva suvasah parivita agat savushreyan bhavati jayamanaha tandhirasah kavaya unnayanti swadhiyo manasa devayantaha. So this is the mantra. So I told you at the end of the last class that I wanted to connect this mantra with the verse that we studied. This mantra basically is employed in the rituals, yagas, in the context of performing a certain ritual around a post which will be called yupa. In fact, there is a famous phrase, yupa ya daru. So there, daru means wood. So you have to choose a specific wood and then prepare that post. So that is called yupa. And here, in connection with the ritual that is to be performed with the yupa, so they will be erecting a yupa and then they will be doing some alankara, as we do alankara, vastra alankara, and that for the yupa. So in that connection, so this mantra is rendered in the yagas. So that is why you have the word suvasaha, yuva suvasaha, yuva, and then you have to club su with vasaha, not yuva su vasaha, yuva suvasaha parivita agat saushreyan bhavati jayamanaha tandhira saha kavaya unnayanti. So kavayaha kranti darshanaha, here basically it refers to the ritviks. Unnayanti. Unnayanti means they perfectly erect it and so on. So that is a certain process. Swadhiyo manasa devayantaha. So why do they do that? So manasa devayantaha. So because the ritual has to be completed and they would like to attain the status of being divine beings. So that is the context in which Savushreyan bhavati jayamanaha. So this is what the mantra basically describes, and if you look at the commentary of these mantras in the Veda Bhaga, so this is what will be primarily described. But then these mantras, some of these mantras have been interpreted by the Bhashyakara as having different layers of meaning when you analyze them. So one is with reference to the yaga, karma. Other is with respect to the Atma also. So there is some Adhyatma interpretation which is also done for some of the mantras. So with reference to Vedanta also. In fact, one of the earlier passages that we were studying, Chatvari Shangat Trayo Asya Padaha, I didn't explain in great detail. So the verse says Chatvarosyah Kavardaha Yuvatiratha. I think there was a verse, right? That is 26. Okay. Chatvarosyah Kavarda Yuvatiratha Bhaved Nutana Nityamesha. So that is also inspired by some mantra, but that mantra does not describe Maya, but interpretation which will fit Maya has been provided by the commentator himself. So it is actually a mantra which is used for Agnipasthana. Okay. So the Agni is what is described by that mantra in that ritual. So where it is employed. The reason for giving all this background is this mantra which has been employed in the yaga with reference to a ritual connected with the yupa has been taken by Acharya to describe something else in this context. So that is why these mantras have been indicated to have different layers of meaning in the Veda by the commentators. So the reason for spending all this time is to tell the audience that many people today try to simply interpret the way they like. Okay, there are various forums in which I myself went into, wherein they feel that they need not consult any of the Bhashyas and they can come up with their own meaning of these mantras, which is too much of an arrogance. Okay, I would say it is preposterous to make such an attempt. So one can think, of course, we have absolutely no restriction in making some original thinking and trying to arrive at it. But then one should have a prepared mind for doing that. So otherwise you will come up with all sorts of interpretations, as many Westerners are doing. Okay, one has to be a little careful. Okay, so not to be led. Okay, now this mantra, as I was mentioning, so in one of the commentaries which was passed on as Anandagiri Tika, I will comment on it little later, maybe in the next class or so, in greater detail. But so there is a certain interpretation which has been provided, and it is quoted as something from Bhashyam. So I was trying to look at the Bhashya which is standard, but then I do not find this in that particular Bhashya. Anyway, I don't know where exactly this has been lifted from, but the same words have been employed in order to arrive at a completely different meaning, so which I would just call as Adhyatma interpretation of the same mantra. So which is what Acharya seems to have done. So the interpretation was sort of presented to you in the last class. So here basically it says, so the same mantra, Yuva. So I was trying to tell that this Yuva can be taken as Atman. So by the word you. And you can also take it as Prana, I hinted in the last class. So here it basically says, so Saha Yuva Pranaha. Okay. Parivita Agat. So there it is said, so Parivita. So for that, so it is described, Pravaranam yasya Sattvakara Antahkarana Vritti Pratibimbitaha Parivitaha Sharira Vritaha. Okay. So Parivitaha means basically sort of covered. So in the context of Yupa, it is through Vastrena Achhadan. You sort of cover that Yupa with that. Now what is being stated here is, even for the life to be recognized in this body, you need a body. Without a body, you cannot think of recognizing any life. Okay. So Parivita Agat means this prana. So when it takes this physical form, Parivita. Okay. So when it becomes there, see, and here he says, Sattvakara Antahkarana Vritti Pratibimbitaha Parivitaha. And when it is covered, it is not covered with any body, but a body which already has some samskara, or which is going to derive this samskara. So have this Sattvakara Vritti. So which is all that was explained in the last class. Sharira Vritaha San Agat. So when he became Jiva now, so only when you acquire this particular form, you can very easily say he is a Jiva. Okay. So this is what is described by this mantra. Yuva Suvasaha. Yuva is Pranaha. Suvasaha Parivitaha. So when he acquired this Jiva shape, so that is how, so the mantra, the same mantra is interpreted. So Jiva Dasham Praptaha. So then we have Sa Ushreyan Bhavati Jayamanaha. The word U so means Nishchayena. So it is used in the Veda. Okay. Sa Ushreyan Bhavati. Shreyan Bhavati means Sat Karma Nirato Bhavati. When you are in the Sattva state, Saha Shreyan Bhavati. Sat Karma Nirataha Bhavati. Iti. Then he says Swadhyaha. So here Svadhyaha is the way you will find this mantra in Yajurveda, whereas in Rigveda there is a different Svadhyaha, and then there will be a Trimatra Vadhyo, so this is how they will say. Anyway, that so Svadhyaha Sukhena Aradhyaha Tam Dhirasaha Dridhavrataha. So he moves on further. Devayantaha Devatvam Praptum Ichhantaha Manasa Saha Unnayanti. Okay? Unnayanti Sushumna Margena Urdhvam Nayanti Brahmarandhram Prapayanti. Okay? So there are certain mantras which have been chosen by Acharya to give a different interpretation than what you will find for the mantra in the other yaga rituals. So one of them is this. Okay. So with this, the previous verse gets completed. Now we move on to the next verse. Okay. Prayo kamosttakamaha.
Prayo kamosttakamaha. Prayo kamosttakamaha.
Niratishaya sukhaya.
Niratishaya sukhaya. Niratishaya sukhaya.
Atmakamas sadasau.
Atmakamas sadasau. Atmakamas sadasau.
Tatprahapta vaptakamaha.
Tatprapta vaptakamaha. Tatprapta vaptakamaha.
Sthitacharamadashaha.
Sthitacharamadashaha. Sthitacharamadashaha.
Tasya dehavasane.
Tasya dehavasane.
Tasya dehavasane. Prananaivotkramanti.
Prananivotkramanti. Prananivotkramanti.
Kramaviratimitāha.
Kramaviratimitāha. Kramaviratimitāha.
Svasvahetau tadānīm.
Svasvahetau tadānīm. Svasvahetau tadānīm.
Kvāyan jīvo vilīnaha.
Kvāyam jīvo vilīnaha. Kvāyam jīvo vilīnaha.
Lavanamiva jale.
Lavanamiva jale. Lavanamiva jale.
Akhanda atmaiva paschāt.
Akhanda atmaiva paschāt. Akhanda atmaiva paschāt.
Prayo kamosttakamaha. Niratishaya sukhaya. Atmakamas sadasau. Tatprahapta vaptakamaha. Sthitacharamadashaha. So you see, there are 4 compounds with the word kama here. One is akama, the other is astakama, and the third is atmakama, and the fourth is aptakama. Okay? So all these words are again inspired by the usage that you find in the Upanishads. Prayo kamosttakamaha. Prayaha akamaha astakamaha. This is a statement. So prayaha. What does the word prayaha mean? Prayaha can mean almost, by and large, generally. So all these meanings can be given for prayaha. But the word prayaha, so it may be good to know in this connection, it is also used in a completely different sense. That meaning can be understood and appreciated if we understand the parts of the word prayaha. So we have pra is upasarga and aya is basically gamanam, gatihi. Okay. So prayaha means prakarshena gamanam. Okay. So prakarshena gamanam, prakrishtam ayanam, prakrishtam gamanam. So this is how you can understand the word. So gamanam is a sort of a journey, some sort of a motion from one place to the other place. So prakarshena gamanam. So suppose you say, what is that prakrishtam gamanam? What is that prakarsha? So you see, supreme kind of emotion. What is that? That is referred to by prakrishtatvam, means once and for all. You set on journey once and for all, which essentially means maranam. You understand? So prayaha also means maranam. Okay? So a motion which once set, you cannot revert back. A journey that you undertake which will never let you come back and occupy this sharira. So that is all it means. Okay? So prayaha also means, in fact, it can be easily appreciated when it is compounded with the other word, prayopaveshaha. Prayopaveshaha is a usage that is more common. Okay. Prayopaveshaha means you sit till you reach Maranam. See, in fact, Swami Vivekananda, some of these great people, when they wanted to leave their body, so they just sit, and that is Prayopavesha. Okay? So some of these people nowadays also, when they want to stage protest, they will also sit. They may call it as Prayopavesha. I don't know. It is some Prayaha Upavesha. By and large, they may be sitting there. That is all. So it is used in the other sense of Prayaha. Okay, not Prayopavesha. So in between, they may go and have some ahara and come back. So that is different. So this Prayopaveshaha, in fact, the word Prayaha is used. Let me give you an interesting verse from Ramayana, so that this word Prayaha sinks into your mind. You repeat. Aham vah pratijanami. Aham vah pratijanami. Aham vah pratijanami. Nagamishyamyaham purim. Nagamishyamyaham purim. Nagamishyamyaham purim. Ihaiva prayamasishye.
Ihaiva prayamasishye.
Ihaiva prayamasishye. Shreyo maranameva cha.
Shreyo maranameva cha. Shreyo maranameva cha.
So here he uses the word. Who uses the word? This is Angada's statement. Okay. So it occurs towards the end of Kishkindha Kanda. So there, so this Angada says, so I am not going to return to the Puri. Aham vah pratijanami. Pratijanami. Pratijanite means he promises. Pratijnam karoti. So that is what is meant by, in many of these works you will find pratijanite. Means initially if you make a statement, this is what I am going to explain. So it is a sort of a promise. Okay. So this is pratijanite. Okay. So make the other person know. So that is essentially promise. When you say, I will complete this, means you make the other person know, which is essentially a kind of a promise. Okay. So aham vah pratijanami. This person tells, Angada tells others, so I am making this announcement to you. So I promise. What? Nagamishyamyaham purim. I am not going to return back. Okay. Ihaiva prayamasishye. So I am going to sit here. Okay, I will not move anywhere till the prana leaves this body. Shreyo maraname vacha. I will leave the context for you to go and read Ramayana. It is a beautiful sarga. See, Ramayana you should read. Whatever you read or not, Valmiki Ramayana is worth reading. It is a beautiful literature presented in a very, very, very simple style. Okay, so amazingly created. So that is why it is called Adi Kavya. Amazing. So Pratiksha. So read Ramayana. So you wanted to improve Sanskrit, you just start reading Ramayana. Okay, it's very, very simple. Okay, now so let us return back to this verse. Prayaha. So here this word prayaha is not used in the sense of maranam, but the same connotation can also be seen. Here prakrishtena should be understood differently. Okay, prakrishtam gamanam is fine. So generally you have a certain tendency to do again and again. Then also you use prayaha. So generally this is the outcome. Okay, so based on the previous experiences, so that is what it is. Okay, so this is the path that it will take. So prayaha evam gamishyati means based on your previous experience. Okay, so same ayanam, the same meaning. So this is the path it may take. Okay. Anyway, so that is the meaning of prayaha. Okay, so prayaha akamaha. Now let us understand the term akamaha first. Akamaha is kama and there is a negative suffix, negative prefix here, nany. Okay, so na kamaha akamaha. So this nany which is there, the negative particle. So this can take either abhava or various other meanings. So for the moment, I would just say that it will be more appropriate to take the meaning of alpatvam rather than akamaha. Okay, abhavaha. So akamaha can mean without kama. Okay, but it can also mean very little kama. Okay, and that little is focused on particular thing, leaving various other things. Why should we take this meaning? So I will tell you, because kamatmata na prashasta na chaiveha styakamata. Okay, so this is what the Manusmriti is. Okay, so kamatmata. So kamatmata means being an embodiment of kama. Okay. So being an embodiment of kama, na prashasta, so nobody will appreciate in this world. Okay. So kamatmata na prashasta na chaiveha styakamata. So that is why I am just saying prayaha akamaha. So this akamaha. So who is being described here? Akamaha is basically a description of somebody. Who is this person? So that is to be connected with the previous verse. So who? The one who has practiced all this abhyasa. Abhyasa. So this person. So it is just a continuity to just provide the link. Saha akamaha. Okay. So real yogi. So saha prayaha akamaha. Prayaha akamaha means he is almost free of kama. But then, nachaiveha styakamata, our Manu comes and flags. How is it possible to be without any kama? Okay, so this is generally. Pranachaiveha styakamata. So therefore, further the Manusmriti says, so we should understand this well. Kamyo hi vedadhigamaha. Okay. So initially for you to be akama, where the entire world is running after, so you have to slowly turn towards other side. So vedadhigamaha kamyaha. So kamyaha means you have to have a desire. Kamyaha means it is worthy of desiring. So kamyaha refers to an entity which is worthy of desiring. Okay. What is worthy of desiring? Vedadhigamaha. Whatever that has been beautifully described in scriptures, so this is worthy of desiring, to have knowledge of this. Kamyo hi vedadhigamaha. That is why Vedo nityam adhiyatam. Okay? So eternal message. So Kamyo hi vedadhigamaha karma yogascha vaidikaha. So this is a beautiful verse in Manusmriti. Karma yogascha vaidikaha. Karma yogascha kamyaha. Vaidikaha karma yogaha. Okay? So vaidikaha karma yogaha is an adjective. I will not dwell upon this much, but you have to understand that this is a very important phrase. So karma yoga, so many people get into. Okay? So here Vaidikaha karma yogaha. So it's a beautiful phrase which he employs here. So now the reason for interpreting akama is Swalpa kamaha. So the kamana is primarily focused upon some entity. Okay? Not after all entities in the world. So in gaining this knowledge of this Atma. And as he does this, he prayaha akamaha. And if it is not with reference to things which are around you, so then you will be essentially described as astakamaha. Okay? Astakamaha. So astakamaha means astangataha kamaha. Okay? Yes, yes, saha, or yes means saha. Saha astakamaha. Astakamaha means for him all other kamanas have gone. Astakamaha. And how does this happen? So here he says, Niratishaya sukhaya atmakamaha. So there is a certain understanding which has emerged in this sadhaka by the abhyasa. And what is this understanding? So all the pursuits that I may have in order to fulfill my desire are only leading me to temporary happiness, which never ever lasts beyond a few minutes. Okay? And I am just driven once again. But here the scripture describes a particular state, so in which I need not be hankering one after the other, but I will obtain such a sukha. Niratishaya sukham. Okay? So Niratishayam means it cannot be crossed over by any other sukha, won over, defeated by. Okay? So both in terms of quantity as well as in terms of the time. Okay? So that is how the quality, quantity, time, all that. Okay? So this is what is described by Niratishaya Sukham. Even to listen this, it is fine. So I will have permanent happiness. Okay? So Niratishaya Sukha, which is unbeatable by anything. Okay? So they say various, if you sit in this car, it is unbeatable experience. So Niratishaya Sukham. My father used to say this word, this Japanese, I don't know in what sense they use. So there is a word called Suzuki. So he used to say Suzuki. See, Shobhanam Sukham. So that which can provide you. But anyway, Suzuki. So Suzuki. Anyway, so that was once upon a time. So Nera, I don't know whether the company exists anymore. Anyway, it is. Okay. Niratishaya Sukha, but it has become Satishaya Sukha anyway. At that point, Niratishaya Sukhaya Atmakamaha Tadasau. So Atmakamaha Tadasau. So now he says, Sada Asau. Okay. So Tada Asau is one reading. Sada Asau is a better reading. So I am Sada Atmakamaha. So means this person has such a refined understanding that he is not tempted over other things. Okay, so a non-returnable path he has chosen. Okay, so therefore Atmakamaha Sada Asau Bhavati. Sada Asau. So this person, okay, Atmakamaha Bhavati. Why? Niratishaya Sukhaya. So keeping that in mind. Then he says, Tatprahapta Vaptakamaha. So Tatpraptau means, so once he has reached the state, okay, Tatpraptau Aptakamaha. So Aptakamaha means Aptaha Kamaha Yena Saha. Okay, so Aptakamaha. See, Atmani eva kamana yasya saha saha Atmakamaha. Aptaha kamaha yena saha saha Aptakamaha. Aptakamaha. So we need to understand this. This Aptakamaha generally means the one who has achieved what he wanted to achieve, and thereby he temporarily is a fulfilled person, satisfied person. Aptaha kamaha. Suppose you want to, so you want to win the race, whatever be the race. If you have won, so then temporarily you are aptakama. So with reference to that desire, you are a fulfilled person. There can be some other which follows. So here, so aptaha kamaha means sarve kamaha aptaha. Okay, so why? We will see that little later. So because the state that is being considered here is, so this person recognizes nothing other than Atman. Okay, so if only you recognize something else which is different from you, so then there can be a kamana either to achieve that position, acquire that for you, or to avoid that. Kamana can be either way, okay, to acquire or to relinquish. Okay, so here Aptakamaha means, so this is a state. Okay, Taprahapta Aptakamaha. Yatrattasya sarvamatmaiva bhut tatkena kampashyet tatkena kanjigret tatkena kagnarasayet. So that is the person whom we were talking about. Yatrattasya sarvamatmaiva bhut. So for him everything is Atman. So only if you see something different from you will you be aspiring for it. So that is not there. Therefore Aptakamaha. And this particular state of mind, if he acquires, so then he is described as Sthitacharama Dashaha. Dasha means basically avastha. Okay. In fact, Dasha so stems from the word Damshu. So Dash. So Dashyate. So Dashyate means so Dashanam means biting, getting crushed, etc. So this various dashas that we undergo. So this dasha is a very frequently employed word in this astrology. So this is Shukra dasha, Guru dasha, this dasha. So you are basically under the under the forks of that particular thing. So therefore Dashyate means someone who is sort of eaten, crushed, made to experience. It is in that sense you use Dasha. Okay. Yanna avasthe. So avastha can be Sukha avastha or Dukha avastha. But by and large you use the word avastha to refer to Dukha. Yanna avasthe la matinte. So Sukha avastha is also avastha. Avastha basically means a state. So here Charama Dashaha. Okay, Sthita Charama Dashaha. So Charama Dasha. So Dasha is a Strilinga word. So Charama Dasha, Charama Dasha. So Tasyam Sthitaha means the one who stays there. Sthita Charama Dashaha. So he has attained this final stages of Nirvana. Okay. So now he says, Tasya dehavasane. For that person, dehasya avasane. So dehasya avasana means when the body comes to an end. Okay. So prarabdha karma is gone. Okay, completely. And other karmas are also gone. Okay. So then, tasya dehavasane. So in that moment, so he says, prana naivotkramanti. Pranaha naiva utkramanti. So this is based upon the Upanishad passage. So we will cite that also shortly. Prana naivotkramanti. For him, prana does not leave this sharira. So what you need to understand here is, so he is basically describing a process which was already alluded earlier. So depending upon the karma, so even kaschit kitah patangaha, kaschit kitah kathanchit padumatirabhitaha. So the 6th verse also. So even there he alluded, later also he alluded. So this sukshma sharira, so transmigrates from one sharira to the other sharira. Okay. So here for this person, so there is no bundle for getting transferred into another body. So therefore he says, prana naivotkramanti. Okay. So it doesn't go anywhere. Krama viratimitaha. So kramena viratimitaha gataha. Okay. So kramena means a certain sequence. So what does Acharya indicate by this sequence? So there is a certain sequence in which so various devatas have been described to have entered into this sharira. So in the sharira, if you consider various parts, so these various parts are governed by various devatas as described in various mantras. So here when he says krama viratimitaha swasvahetau. Swasvahetau means so in their own causes. Okay. Swasvahetau krama viratimitaha. So krama means in the same sequence. So they enter into their own causes. Okay. So this integrates with this merges with this, and so on. So prana naivotkramanti krama viratimitaha swasvahetau tadahanim kvayam jivo vilinaha. Then he says, I am jivaha kvavilinaha. So where is the question of jiva merging? So all these things, essentially, this bundle as it moves from one place to the other place. So then you say this utkramati, gachati, ayati, on and this. So there is absolutely nothing which remains. So therefore he says, lavanami bajale khanda atmaiva paschat. So this simile can be used only to some limit, but this is the best thing that you can think of here. Okay. So the simile that he provides here is lavanami vajale. So you take a teaspoon of salt, so and then put it into a big bowl. Okay. So the salt has completely disappeared. Okay. Suppose you put it in the big bowl containing water. So for you to once again get the salt, you may have to boil it for hours together. Okay. So then perhaps some may crystallize at the bottom. Okay. But then, as far as the eyesight goes, so you will never ever recognize that there is anything called salt. Okay. So that is what one has to understand. Jale akhandaha. Akhandaha means you cannot just see. This seems to be separate. Khanda means basically a part. Okay. So only when you recognize various parts can you think of a part, this part, that part, etc. But here it is just water, water, water. Okay. Akhanda atmaiva paschat. So then what remains is only this Atman. Okay. So this is what is being conveyed by Acharya in this verse. So here there are a couple of things which I have to bring to your notice. What is this shloka based upon? Okay. So this shloka seems to be based upon the description that we find in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, fourth adhyaya, you see a mantra which basically describes kamayamana and akamayamana. I will just read that mantra for you, then we will quickly run through the bhashya. So this is fourth adhyaya. Then we have fourth brahmana and the sixth mantra. Okay. Tadesha shloko bhavati tadeva saktas saha karmani tilingam mano yatra nishaktamasya prapyantam karmanastasya yat kinche hakarotyayam tasmallokat punaraityasmai lokaya karmana iti nukamayamano thak iti nukamayamanaha. So up to this there is a break. So then he says atha kamayamano yo kamo nishkama aptakama atmakamo na tasya prana utkramanti brahmaiva san brahmapyeti. So it is the later part of this mantra. Atha kamayamanaha atha akamayamanaha. So itinu kamayamanaha means, so this is how, so the passage etc. will be there for those who have desire. So those who have won over the desire, atha kamayamanaha yo kamo nishkama aptakama atmakamo na tasya prana utkramanti brahmaiva san brahmapyeti. So this is a very important passage which will be quoted by Bhagavad Pada in various contexts. So let me take you through a couple of sentences in the bhashya for this mantra. So here he says iti nu evam nu kamayamanaha samsarati yasmat kamayamanaha eva evam samsarati atha tasmat akamayamanaha nakvachit samsarati. So this is how he begins the commentary for this particular section. So yitinu kamayamanaha, so the one who has kamana, samsarati means he goes into the cycle of birth and rebirth. As far as the other person is concerned, na samsarati atha akamayamanaha. And then the process is what is described. That is why we have akama, aptakama, atmakama, etc. See, Shankara beautifully explains here. Phalasaktasya hi gati rukta. Okay, phalasaktasya gati hi rukta. So success and failure, okay, can be defined only with reference to some phala. Okay, so here phalasaktasya hi gati rukta akamasya tu kriya anutpattehe akamayamanaha muchyate eva katham punaha akamayamano bhavati. This is the question. How does he reach the state as akamayamanatvam katham bhavati? So he says yaha akamaha bhavati asau akamayamano bhavati katham akamata ityuchyate yaha nishkamaha yasmat nirgatah kamaha soyam nishkamaha katham kamaha nirgachanti. A very simple style. Okay. Katham kamaha nirgachanti yaha aptakamaha bhavati aptah kamaha yena saha aptakamaha katham mapyante kamaha. How will you get all the kamas? Okay. Atmakamatvena. That is the reply. Okay. Yasya atmaiva nanyaha kamaitavyaha vastantara bhutaha. So that is why I said. So aptakama means swalpakama, focused on only one thing. Okay. So here he says Yasya atmaiva nanyah kamayitavyah. Okay, vastvantara bhutaha padartho bhavati. This can emerge only out of understanding. Okay, atmaiva anantaraha abahyaha kritsnah prajnanaghanah ekarasaha naburdham natiryak nadhaha atmanonyat kamayitavyam vastvantaram. यस्य सर्वम् आत्मैवा भूत् तत्केनकं पश्येत् शृणुयान् मन्वीत विजानीयाद्वा एवं विजानन् कं कामयेता is a question. A beautiful analysis. एवं विजानन् कं कामयेता. Okay, whom will you seek for? So here he says कं कामयेता न्यायमानो हि अन्यत्वेन पदार्थः कामयितव्यो भवति. See, it's a very simple, powerful statement. Okay, so न्यायमानो हि अन्यत्वेन पदार्थः. So padarthah refers to an entity. Anyatvena means something which is different from you. Okay, अन्यत्वेन पदार्थः कामयितव्यो भवति. न च असौ अन्यः ब्रह्मविदः आप्तकामस्य अस्ति. यस्य आत्मकामतया आप्तकामः सः निष्कामः अकामः अकामयमानश्चेति मुच्यते. न हि यस्य आत्मैव सर्वं भवति तस्य अनात्मा कामितव्यः अस्ति, and so on and so forth. So this is a passage which has been lifted from this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and then beautifully weaved in the form of a verse with various similes. So here there is another thing which is also worth recounting. So in this context, so prayaha akamaha astakamaha niratishaya sukhaya atmakamaha tada asau. In fact, there is one more Shruti which I can straight away tell you, so which is very relevant to this. So this is this Kathopanishad. So there he says, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yesya hridi shritaha athamartyo mrto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. So almost identical. Atra brahma samashnute. So is what is very important statement that is made. Yada sarve pramuchyante. What is the criteria? This is occurring towards the end of Kathopanishad, in fact. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yesya hridi shritaha. So hridi shritaha kamaha, the various desires that were occupying your heart. Hridi, in fact, Bhagavad Pada will say, Hridi means Buddhau. See, Buddhau sthita. Because after all, Kamana is something which is associated with Buddhi. Okay? Kama yesya hridi shritaha. Kama sankalpo vijigitsa shraddha shraddha dhritirидhi hrir dhir bhirityetat sarvam mana eva. So there is another beautiful passage. Okay, the various states of the mind are brought in one place. Kama sankalpo vichikitsa shraddha shraddha dhritir adhritihi hrir dhir bhihi ityetat sarvam mana eva. All these are basically different states of mind. Anyway, so here yada sarve pramuchyante, that is where the punch is. So athamartyaha amrito bhavati. Okay, so this martya becomes amrita. Okay, when kama yesya hridi shritaha yada sarve pramuchyante. So all of them leave. So all of them will leave. See, suppose you feel that, so this is the best car which will give you all kinds of comforts. So if that is there in your mind, then your focus will be only in that. Okay, not other things. So similarly, if you think that this is the best thing that I can get, so then, so all other things will slowly leave. Okay, so that is what is implied here. So kama yasya hridi shritaha, which have already taken a position, okay, pramuchyante, so they leave and go. Okay. Yada sarve pramuchyante. Suppose there are 5 offers which have been made to you. Okay. If somebody tells you this is the best company that you have to choose, so all other kamanas with reference to other companies would have gone. So that is what it is. Pramuchyante means sort of they are left. Okay. They leave you. You don't have to leave them. You have to just fix some other thing which is better than this. Then all these will wither out. So yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridi shritaha athamrtyo mrto bhavati atra brahma samashnute yada sarve prabhidyante hridayasyeha granthayah. This is another way of putting it. Granthi means something which is sort of binding you. Hridayasyeha granthayah athamrtyo mrto bhavati etavadhyanushāsanam. In fact, there is a very beautiful passage towards the end of Kathopanishad. He says, there is nothing more for me to state to you. Etavadhi anushāsanam. You find this word anushāsanam appearing in various scriptures. Atha shabdanushāsanam, atha yoganushāsanam. So anushāsanam means so instruction based on the knowledge which has been received through scriptures, not pulling something out of your hat. Okay, so anushasti vedamanuchacharyonte vasinam anushasti is a beautiful usage you will find in several places in Upanishads. So the shabdanushāsanam, which is Vyakarana Shastra, is described as shabdanushāsanam. Yoga Shastra is described as Yoganushāsanam. Okay? Anushāsanam means this person who is basically conveying the message to you. So he has digested for himself and then he tries to give you the instruction. So that it is effective on the person who is listening. Okay? That is what is called Anushāsanam. Okay? So this Yoganushāsanam, Shabdanushāsanam, and finally Yama says there is no more Anushāsanam. Yada sarve prabhidyante kama yasya hridi shritaha athamrtyo mrto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Yada sarve prabhidyante kama yasya hridi shritaha athamrtyo mrto bhavati etavadhyanushāsanam. So this is how he completes. So similarly, so what we need to, in fact this is all based on Shruti. If you want to look at Smriti also, we find, I think, yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmim sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga vyogam yoga samnitam. So this is what Smriti says. So yam labdhva cha aparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha. So that is what we need to understand. Okay. So yam labdhva means yam atmanam labdhva. So atmanam katham labdhva niratishaya sukhaspadattvena labdhva. So that is what is stated here. Okay. So aptakamaha, then he will become aptakama. So you see a beautiful concurrence. Okay. So yam labdhva, and it is based purely on logic. So that is why I started with this Manusmriti verse. Okay. So it says, so akamatvam is not straight away possible unless you set something. Okay. So once you set the proper goal, so then all things will slowly start withering away. It is a process which you have to let happen. Okay. So once you let happen with understanding, then it will happen. So that's what it is. Okay. Now let us read this verse. Prayo kamostakamaha niratishaya sukhaya atmakamas sadasau tatprahapta vaptakamaha sthitacharamadashaha tasya dehavasane prananaivodkramanti kramaviradimitaha swasvahetau tadanim kvayan jivo vilinaha लवणमिव जले खंड आत्मैव पश्चात्. So now I will leave a suspense for you. The Swasvahetau has not been fully explained, so that will be taken up in the next class. So what is the Swasvahetu? So what is it based on? So that we will discuss in the next class. Om सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम